Been really enjoying creating art using epoxy resin and epoxy casting powder. I decided that today I'm gonna be demold with you guys what we created, what we poured on this vase. And as you can see, this is what we had done previously. And welcome to Wangechi Creative Studio, and I'm so happy that you join me on this episode as we demold and also talk about the mistakes that I made when it comes to the epoxy casting powder. And without further ado, I think we should demold first because I am so excited to actually demold this to see how it turned out. I don't know if I should have high expectations, low expectations, whatever expectation, maybe no expectations at all, so I can see it so I don't get disappointed. And so let's demold. So here is how it looks. I'm so pleased. I'm not gonna lie that I'm so pleased with how the gold in here. Look how beautiful this is. It's so pretty. So very pretty. And yes, you can see here there's a bit of like where the bubble was. This is what happens when there's bubbles, but otherwise it turned out very well. I can use this and I just love how gorgeous this is. It's so pretty. I'm so pleased with it. And this is what we had done with the epoxy casting powder. Now you can tell the difference of what they look like. So this is from the epoxy resin A and B, and this is from the epoxy casting powder, and you can see the difference, the colors, the way they came out, and also with a bit of the decoration that I was trying yesterday. And however, you can tell that there was a bit of bubbles in the corner. I think it's in the corner. I'm realizing that the corner of this, let's turn it so we can see. It's so tough to turn this one. I have to ask for help all the time. Yes, so what's happening, and you can tell that if I had not prepared it with this, that it would have probably been more worse, because what's happening is the bubbles, they form here. And now when you're already putting the mold, I don't know how you can put the, because usually you can just use you can use the toothpick to go in and trying to fix to remove the bubbles, but I prefer this, and that's why it turned out so well without a lot of, there's less of the bubble issues. And so it's these corners, and if you can tell even from this one, it's the same place. So this is what's happening, and this is what happened. Same place. It's the same place with the other one. So I love both of them. I'm still going to use them, but then I'm realizing that these corners, I assume, let's actually do reverse it the way it's supposed to be, so that I can actually get a good idea of what's actually going on. But I'm actually thinking it's the same place, the corner. So when it's like this, so it goes down and goes, no, actually it's actually up here at these corners. And the funny thing is, you know, with this one as well, you see these corners up here is the same place I always find there's issues, not the other part. So it's these corners here where there's issues. So I think I'm going to have to properly put these alcohol thingy here very well, so that I don't have more issues. Because I realized that if you turn them, where you're seeing it's the same place where they have the same issues, here and here, same issue, same place, same issue. However, it turned out so well. And also today, as I said, I wanted to talk about also the problems that I was having yesterday. So one of it is, as you can tell a little bit, there was so many bubbles. You know, I can tell here on this side, one of the sides, and with this one, the reason why this one turned out very well, it's because I turned this over. When I was doing it, I wasn't sure how I would turn it, and then I figured out that I could turn it, so I turned it, and then I sprayed the alcohol, and so I sprayed everywhere, including in the lines, and that's why this has no bubble issues at all, apart from this part only, right? So that's the only part, and that's why this is happening. And so when you're creating your when you're creating with the casting powder, you should be very careful, because you might have a very gorgeous thing, gorgeous colors and everything, but then you can't be able to like use it. And if you're going to maybe do it for a business, then you'd go at a loss, because then this would be just a waste product that you can't be able to sell unless you just use it or gift it. But again, you can't even gift it to someone, because I mean, you're gifting someone something that feels like it's unfinished. And then, so you should be very careful with the bubbles. The bubbles are going to, the main problem when you're using any type of epoxy, it's bubbles. Bubbles are your downfall with any product. Forget the mixing of the colors and all that, because that's the fun part, and also demolding is the fun part. The problem is the bubbles. They will destroy everything that especially if you're going to be making them for business. Whatever product you make and it turned out that it had bubbles and you didn't know, this is what it just destroys it. So you should be very careful. Now what happened here, the mistake I made here, I don't know if you can see very well, but there is like some sort of like cracks around here. You can tell, like if I put it this way, you can't even tell there's any problem, but I can see there's problems, because what happened is, because I had enough mixture to create this one, and after I poured it into this, there was some that remained, and I didn't want to waste it, because you don't want to waste any products, because I mean, why should you do it? And so I decided to put it in here, and what happened is it wasn't filling, and there was like some that were refusing to come off of the sides, and I added a bit of water in there in both of the colors, and then I poured, and you could tell that it was very watery. It was very watery. This is because you're supposed to use 3:1. It's supposed to be 100% 3:1, so you don't have problems and issues like this. This is because I didn't use the exact measurements, and I decided to do my own thing. Not measurements, but ratio. I didn't use the exact ratio that I was supposed to, and so this is what happened. So going forward, if you're going to start creating any of these things, make sure you can tell, like even with the hole here and stuff. I know you when you put it down, when it's on the table like that, there's no way you can tell what the issue is, because it's literally at the bottom. However, if you're going, again, like I said, if you're going to do it as a business, you cannot be able to sell this to anyone at all, because this is definite, and this is going to waste for someone who's, but for me, I'm going to definitely keep these because I did them and it's pretty, very pretty. I actually like the colors. However, I made the mistake, knowingly making the mistake, because I just didn't want to pour more epoxy casting powder to do it, because it was just it was very, very little. However, if you're going to do it as a business, make sure you just go back and do the correct thing, the correct ratio, so that you are not having issues like this. And then the other thing, which is something that we are going to be doing next, is to be able to make these waterproof. I'm supposed to use the varnish to make this waterproof, and also to give it like a very, very, very nice finish. And since these already I already did these, and they're kind of like I wouldn't even give them to anyone, I will try, I'll do the experiment with you guys, well, not experiment, but the crafting with you guys, to be able to show you how I did it with the other items that I've already done. And oh man, I'm really feeling very, very bad that this happened. You know, I'm not quite sure that you can be able to see very well, but there is like cracks here, and literally this is not because it cracked or it fell. This is from just the bubbles. This is how bad the bubbles can be. And all this is literally from the bubbles. They can create so much problems for anything that you are crafting. And this is also one of the big mistakes that I'm finding that I'm doing, is that I'm not ensuring. Maybe I should go with toothpicks more and just go in and try to see, because I feel like all the creations that I'm making, they're so gorgeous, but then they end up having a little issues here and there. This one I know what the problem is, but this one is because of the bubbles. And a lot of the times I find that these corners, which is something I'm learning now, is anything that I do on the corners, it tends to have more bubbles than you'd expect. So as much as I'm trying to use this alcohol to prepare all my items, before I pour any kind of mold, be it any kind of mix, be it the epoxy casting powder or the epoxy resin A and B, I ensure that I prepare very well. However, I feel like I am not doing very well with the corners, you know, the corners of things. And also this is also another one that I was having so much issues with these corners, is every time I would pour, whenever I would demold anything, there would be something that is not right, because there would be bubbles along these, not down the part, not the down part, but down the bottom part, but the corners around here, there would always be bubbles. So that I'm worried about, and I will definitely be fixing that. And this for me today is the issues that I wanted to talk about, which is bubbles and the ratio that you're adding into the mix, and also being able to demold with you guys. Look how gorgeous this is. And these are, it's like I said yesterday, I wanted to be playful with I wanted to be playful with what I was creating yesterday, and now seeing how it turned with the gold and the colors, you know, the purple and the blue. Oh man, I am so in love with this. I'm definitely going to keep it and maybe gift it to someone. Look how beautiful it is. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. And if you put it down like that, you see that problem is you that where the bubble was, you can't even tell. And it's just a awesome product, and I'm so happy. And this was going to be a very short episode, because I was only going to demold and also be able to share with you some of the problems that I have been facing. I'm very disappointed with the fact that I wasn't able to fix the bubbles yesterday while I was making this is definitely my fault. I shouldn't have done this, but I didn't have a choice, because I didn't want to add more and create something else. because that wasn't the plan. Otherwise, I am in love with both of them, and I am so glad that I was able to purchase this vase, because the other one is, like I was showing you in the other episode, it's too big. It's beautiful once you create it, but it's very big, and it ends up taking so much of the resin. So of course I'm gonna keep it because I can't throw it away. These are my molds that I've already purchased, so obviously I'll keep it. And I think I'm going to do this maybe once in a while when I feel like I want something big, something extra, then I'll use this and the other bigger mold that I had of the tray, because that one just takes literally, once you start mixing for that tray, it's going to take almost the whole of this, or 3/4 of this, actually almost all of it. So it's an expensive thing to create, and I just love these ones. I just love it. I really love it, and I appreciate how it's turned out to be. And I'm telling you, I know I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I love working with these. I love working with the epoxy resin, the A and B. I love working with it. It's just gorgeous. Like the way, look how it turned out. It just turns things so beautiful. It just, the way you're able to play with it, the way you're able to mix whatever colors, I just love it. This one it's very good, and also the time is it's so easy, because you can be able to see the results within 30 minutes. However, then when you're trying to mix the colors, unless you get yourself, which is what I've seen other people doing, is you get yourself the mixer, which has two sides, and then you just put them there, both of them, and then it just mixes for you and as soon as it's finished, you just pour. So it's so easy. But if you're going to do it by yourself, and if you haven't you don't really want a big mixer, then this is, you just, it's tough to mix it, have two different colors. And as you saw on the previous episode, that it was very hard for me to mix it without it starting to be lumpy, not lumpy, but getting hard. And so when you're pouring it, you could tell the difference between the one that I had mixed at first and the one that I had mixed afterwards, that the consistency were completely different, because the other one was already starting to dry, because the other one I was just mixing it. And so that's the challenge with this. And it's enjoyable because you get to see it so quick. But this one, because it gives you 40 minutes working time, so you're able to mix slowly, you're able to add whatever you need. If it's not enough, then you have ample time to be able to add the epoxy. So I love, and also it's just so playful. I love it. Unfortunately, what's happening now is that this is more expensive than this one when you're buying the products, and that's just the truth. You know, it's if you're going to go for this one, just know that you're going to be paying more. And also you know, I don't know how many, because I've bought so many of them now, so I don't know how much you're going to need for I don't know how much you're going to need depending on what you're going to be creating. So you might need more, and if you have the chance to be able to buy a lot of it, like maybe say 20 kgs, then go for it and buy 20 kgs and just have it, so that you can be able to create. And the 20 kg is around 20 something thousand, which is maybe, I think $200, $200, and it's 20,000 Kenyan shillings, 20 to 23,000 Kenyan shillings. So if you want to be able to create without having to buy all the time, just buy a lot of it, so that you're not going and buying. Also, I bought some of these I've bought when there was an offer in a certain shop, so they were slightly cheaper than what I had bought previously, every other ones that I've bought before, because those ones I just bought full price. These ones there was an offer in the shop that I was buying. So And thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I wanted to just demold with you guys so you can see all the things that we have done this week. And this is again A and B, and this one is the casting powder. And I'm so glad that I got to do this. I'm so happy it turned out so well. And I hope you enjoyed seeing me demold this and how it turned from the things that we from what we made. And thank you so much. I'll see you in my next episode, and I have more exciting creation to continue crafting with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode, and I'll see you in the next craft.